All right, sit back where you were. We can't have it both up at the same time. I can't record that way. Yeah, so we just have to do it without it. Well, that makes no sense. We should be able to. How do we know it's running? I don't like that.
We start talking and it's not even running.
I know, right?
And we figure out we didn't want to record a single thing and like all that for nothing.
Hold on, I got an idea. All right, quiet on the set, please. Quiet on the set. All right, so it is recording. Yeah, so we're in frame. Let me get closer. Perfect. All right, let's run the intro. We should have like something going in the background.
Right, intro music.
No, there's something we can look at.
Oh, is it true that Thor had kids?
Mm-hmm.
And we're not from Journal I am, but okay, when did he got kids?
6 hours. Wow.
Is ours gonna be that long?
No. This is just all the cutscenes in Warcraft. This is something we can look at while we're recording.
I always just
And action. Here we go. Welcome to the show, everybody. We are podcast called Journey Across Azeroth. What we do is discuss WoW and all things that are WoW. So my name is Charles, and I am here with
Isaiah.
And we've been playing Warcraft. Well, I've been playing for about 20 years. Played way back with the beta. I was playing on somebody else's account. I didn't actually get started with WoW until I got my own account, Lich King. I think one of my first characters was the Blood Elves. The expansion I started at.
I actually really like the Blood Elves.
Yeah, Blood Elves are a good race. They were the very first pretty race for the Horde, but my first character was a Tauren, but that wasn't my own account. And when did you start playing?
I started. Well, I start way. I started way back. Like was it like 4 or 5 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of like a returning player where I'm getting really into Warcraft this year, and I'm playing a orc character who is a warrior class who's arms.
And as far as me, my main is Hunter BM for life. I also have a bunch of other 70s. A druid. I'm playing a warrior as well. Mine is a tank. I got like 4 priests. I love the pre-class. DPS, holy. I also have a mage. Of course, everybody has a mage. Not how many rogues or paladins, but that's pretty much.
I really don't get the priest or paladins. Like I understand that paladin is like a mix of a warrior and priest, but I just don't get about the whole holy light thing they talk about.
Well, that's more class fantasy stuff. As you know, I don't really get into class fantasy. I like to push buttons and make things die. But something paladins, they are chosen by the light, and they let the light guide them and stuff like that. But like I said, I don't really get into class fantasy. That's your thing.
Yeah, I was just saying, I went to a paladin and they start doing on a rant about light, and I'm like, okay, dude.
Ooh, excuse me. Cut that part out. Edit that out too. That was a burp. Sorry. Drinking the Mountain Dew here tonight. Mountain Dew.
What I am worrying about the game in Warcraft, level doesn't really matter in this game. It's the gear you're wearing.
But what's that?
Level doesn't really matter in this game. I learned that gear matters in this game.
Oh, yeah.
I went into a dungeon a few times, and I'm walking around getting attacked 100 by these guys at level 35, and they're doing nothing to me, and I'm one-shotting them, and I'm like, oh my god, level doesn't matter. This is definitely an RPG game. It's your gear you got to worry about.
Yeah, it's definitely a gear-based game. And you haven't got the max level yet. Once you get a max level, you'll see the in-game grind and how it turns to a completely different game.
Because when I start replaying this, I thought, okay, all I need to do is level up, and once I level up, I'll be fine. Then I went into some trouble, and later in the game, I'm leveling up. I'm like, why am I getting booked right now? We're in the same level, and I realized that when I went into that dungeon, I truly understand that the gear matters, not the level. You be 100. You be level 100, and you have the most pathetic gear in the game. You still lose to someone in the lower level once they have better gear than you.
Yes, it's definitely gear focused. Warcraft has always been that way. But that's what makes it fun. After you get to 70, you get to max level, then you got to go hunt down certain gear pieces and stuff. So that's always good.
I'm having trouble with that. Like I'm trying to go to the Fireland and get this unconscionable belt.
And speaking of which, why don't we move into that? What we did this week. So let's go ahead. Talk about what you did this week in Warcraft. Go ahead and tell us your Fireland stories.
Okay. I started out playing the Dragonland story, and I got this knight-like armor. I didn't really like the look of it, but it kept me tough. And I went in the inventory and realized that means that we got all the armors together. Like some pieces are missing. So I went and talked to Dad and see where I could get this. And he told me I had to go to Orgrimmar and go to the Firelands. I went to Orgrimmar. I had to look for the Firelands because I immediately went to Draenor, so I didn't really explore any part of Orgrimmar. So it's not like it's pointed on the map. So I actually had to look around a little bit before I got to the Fireland. When I finally got there, I got into the land and started fighting these guys. And I was expecting to take a few minutes to fight all of these people. But I started one-shotting them, and that's when I realized about the gear system.
Correct.
So I started killing some of these guys, and I was waiting for this.
So you're level, what level are you?
I'm level, I want to say 68, maybe 67.
So for those of us who don't play Warcraft, he's like 2 levels from max level, and he's playing like a very low level raid. So he just ran in. He just realized he could just kill everything, no problem.
Yeah. So I went in, and I did had one stop. There was this one monster that wouldn't show up. So I went to check out why it wasn't not showing up, and I realized I had killed a certain amount of monsters before he shows up.
He's talking about Shinnok.
Yeah.
He has to kill like everything. Somebody. He has to kill a particular creature. I can't remember who it is.
I can't pronounce the name. I'm not going to try to butcher it. It's someone in the comments are going to say something.
Oh, they always say something. That's the part of the comments. But yeah, so keep on. You go. Did fire.
So I killed like 30, maybe 40 of these guys. Then all of a sudden he started talking, and he said, "Go find them." And I said, I'm coming to you. So I went watching him, went straight for him, killed him, and soon he dies. His dog just died after that. So I guess their life force were somehow connected to his. Then I heard someone else talking, and when I beat the whole level, all the bosses, I end up leaving and try to look, do I have the gear? And I don't have the belt. I don't have the boots. So I go back into it again. But then I realize I can't just restart the dungeon. But I had to wait. I said, this is going to be like, I had to wait for a tomorrow thing, isn't it?
So yeah, I was going to teach you about all that. You guys learn about getting saved instances. So with instances, when you do raids, you can do it once every week. Once you kill a boss, you become saved to that raid, and it resets every Tuesday. So it reset last night on you. So you can only do it once a week. Once you kill a boss in that raid, so you can do it again. When did you do it?
I did it yesterday night.
Yesterday, so Tuesday night. So yeah, you gotta wait until next Tuesday before you can go back in there and do it again. That's what makes transmog so difficult. You gotta wait all week.
I don't know why I got mad because I thought I could just get out and go back in and try again.
Yeah,
but I couldn't. All of them were dead, and I was like,
I'll teach you how to.
That's just my luck.
Me, as far as me, I'm still running heroics on my my warrior. I'm ready for mythics. I just don't want to jump into mythics yet. I don't feel like taking mythics. Probably I can get away with like a mythic 1, mythic 0, but like I said, I don't really want to jump into it. My gear level is like 498 or somewhere on there. It's not quite 500 yet, but I mean, I got a full set of tier gear on my warrior. So he can definitely do mythics. I got my 4-piece tier set. My main, I've slowed down on him. I don't play as much as I can. So my hunter, he is still in last season's gear. I mean, he was maxed out last season. I was running mythics 10 and 15s on my hunter. But so he was all maxed out in last season's gear. So I barely played him this season. I might get into it a little bit. I'm tired of tanking. Because tanking is just so stressful. It is just a completely different game. When you get on as your DPS, and you just get on and just boom, 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 boom. 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. But when you get on as your tank, you gotta manage the group and watch out for your healers and make sure your DPS aren't doing anything. So that jumps us right into our next segment. Goals for next week. So this week coming up, today is already Wednesday. For how about you, sir? What do you want to do this week? What's your goals this week? How about getting the max level?
Yeah, I'm gonna work on that on the dragon thing. Cause I am getting close to getting a max level, so I am gonna work on that. But I also want to get those 2 pieces, and after doing it in there so many times. Now it's just personal for me. I have to get it now. I quit now. It's like I'm chipping out now.
Well, you can't do it again no more. You can only do it once a week.
I'm gonna get it one day, either next Tuesday or tomorrow. I'm getting it one of these days.
That's how it was with my Ashes of Valar mount that I have. I ran that thing for months and months and months before I got that mount. So for me, go for it.
So besides that, this Dragon Quest is interesting because even though I don't know the story of the Dragon Quest, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know nothing about the dragon race at all. But I am worrying that they have this special item that I had to help them rebuild because their dad broke it, I guess. So they regain their power. And also there's a prince and other prince kind of fighting for being leader, so that's gonna be interesting.
You talking about the Rathion and his brother Sevelion.
Yeah, I like Rathion.
Their dad was definitely, he was the guy who tore everything up in the Cataclysm.
He's arrogant, but he's like a funny arrogant. Like he's that guy where he might get you killed, but at least you know he's gonna be by your side when it happens.
Yeah, Rathion is a good guy. He's
his brother I don't really trust. He really appeared out of nowhere, and somehow he's the prince, and also he said he's the leader, and his brother had no idea he existed.
Yeah, you gotta watch the rest of the cinematics then. Yeah, you definitely need to go through the cinematics and watch them.
What world did you come from? What happened to you when we were being attacked by an evil dragon warrior?
Yeah. Because you'll see Rathion, he makes a couple mistakes. I can't remember. And you start to become more like Asan with Sibelian instead of Rathion.
Yeah, I did tell
That's how
Lathion is definitely arrogant, believing that his destiny is his and he can do whatever it takes. Like, we were undermanned and he still made us rush into that fortress.
Yeah, there was something else that happened. It's gonna happen later on. I don't want to spoil it too much for you, but he does something else kind of arrogant and foolhardy.
But I was on his side earlier because the queen pretty much refused help from him. And there was one thing he said is about your fault. It's not more important than my group. Like, we need your help too.
You're talking Alex Strasser.
It's like these two are trying to protect their own, and I can't blame him for being mad. You really should save your life, and you won't send not even a portion of your troops to help him out.
Well, Alex Strasser is also, she's like the queen of all the dragons. So she's looking out for all of the dragons. So it's a whole big old thing. I mean, you get into those videos yourself. Like I said, you are the big lore person, so you get into the aspects of the dragons and Nosdormu and Alex Strasser, Malagos, Caligos, all of them. But you'll see it as you go through the quest and Dragonflight. That's why I tried to get you to go to Dragonflight and finish questing out there.
Yeah, the reason why I didn't do that, I thought it was going to be pretty much a basic way, like nothing interesting. But once I got into it, it's like, okay, there's more to these guys than I thought.
Yeah, the story's pretty good. Each zone has its own story and its own build up. So
when I heard about it, I thought they were just people who are dragons or able to turn into dragons, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, but you know me, I skipped all through it and I went to YouTube and watched all the cinematics on YouTube. That's just me. I'm not a big lore person. And my goals for this week, let's see here. So that's a good question. I don't know. I don't really have any like super hard goals for myself right now playing Warcraft. Just get back, have fun. I might even start on my Demon Hunter because it is a time walking week. And time walking is where you go back and you play old like dungeons and you get like 3 times the XP for doing that. So I can level up my Demon Hunter pretty fast. I'm definitely gonna get on my warrior. I'm probably gonna take a mythic or 2, so I can get my vault, and then definitely get back to my hunter. Start gearing him back up, get ready for the next expansion, the War Within. So that's pretty much my goal. Is I'll keep playing those 2, maybe 3 classes. So definitely the warrior, definitely my hunter, and maybe my demon hunter with some time walking. If I feel like going back and doing some cataclysm dungeons, I think that's what
I definitely want to play the demon hunter because even before I got into Warcraft, I just became a big fan of Illidan. Like, Illidan was, I got to a big fan of him. I was always on his side. I might be biased, but I see a lot of his views isn't as bad because all his moves got them to the point they were.
Well, yeah, Illidan's not bad. I don't know. I guess he just misunderstood. Depends on your point of view. That's like people say the Horde is bad, but the Horde really isn't bad. It's just their side of the story. You know, the Alliance did bad stuff too. They kept orcs and captured them and butchered them and stuff.
You know, the funny thing is how Varian got upset with the orcs putting him in slavery, but didn't your people started that first?
What do you mean, my people?
Varian's people, the humans, they really started that first by putting them in internment camps. But you get upset that they want to get their lick back.
Oh, well. Okay, so that's good. That's my goals for the week. I want to go over some news. I'm not really big on reading off patch notes. Nothing major is happening this week in WoW. Let's see here. As far as the big world bosses, you want to get down to Strunanan. I don't know how to say his name. Strunanan is the big world boss. This is for when you get to level 70. There's a world boss that you do, and you go out and you kill him. It's quick, easy, like 10, 15 seconds. There's a whole bunch of people down there. You kill them, and then you get some major group loot. So it's pretty good. I'll teach you all this once you hit 70. We'll go through and do it together. In fact, if you want to watch me do my roundabouts. So when you hit 70, you got like loops that you'll be taking and stuff where you go and you do certain things that you have to do. You got to do your profession quest.
I think I may have saw something like this. I was watching a war video earlier. it's pretty much a bunch of people get into this one, like I'm not sure like dungeon or raid, what you might call it, or maybe it's a storyline. You go in and pretty much there's a whole group of people who are max level and everything, and they just go after this one creature. And when it's dead, you get like this loot chest that everybody gets.
Yep, that's it. That's the world boss. In fact, once we get done with this, I'll take you. We'll do my world boss, and I'll show you how that works. The big quest this week, I think, is something about the I can't remember. It's where you have to do the cooking event. You have to do the grand hunt, and you also have to do the dragon bane keep. Where's those three events that you have to do when you get your big chest for the week.
I feel like that's gonna be like in the Dragon World man right now.
No, it's not that bad.